Hi, I'm Gabriel. It's interesting. I was thinking when you go from a dark place and then you come into the light, you're able to see things that you couldn't see before. You get a little bit of light and things start to get a bit brighter. I can relate this to human health and how I walk students and clients through healthy behavior change in the areas of nutrition, right here at Gabe's Healing Kitchen, where we get to the root of your greatest health need and ignite your inner capacity to self-heal chronic disease. Showing people a system, how we go from food planning, purchase, and prep with some food prep strategies for when life gets in the way, since it's going to happen. Now, for my struggling students with learning disabilities, I created a nice little program with 15 years of expertise all put together, and I call it my ABCD, Get Free from ADHD. And so, wouldn't it be beneficial, I feel it is, whenever I have a problem that I'm unable to solve, I need to go seek someone out who has insight or can see what I'm unable to see. They have a different vantage point than I do. Now, that could be any type of problem. And it's frustrating when we don't have the answer, especially when we put forth the effort and the time that is our most valuable asset in life that we can't get back. So, what I do for my students is, so to speak, I shine the flashlight on areas that they couldn't see before. So it can be helpful to have somebody with the knowledge, the skills, and the background, the experience with things that relate to academic learning in the classroom. And so these things also affect how we behave and how we are up here, which I care greatly about. An example of that, the reason I created such a program wasn't because I had nothing else better to do. It was because I don't see anybody solving the problems. And it does matter, because we're raising an entire generation of young people who, what they're taught in conventional classrooms and schools isn't really teaching them any skills that they can apply later on in life. Then on the other side of things, on the building health side, that actually goes with the academic learning, which most people are unable to see, and sadly parents are not really taught this by therapeutic, clinical, special education, and other professionals. They're going from doctors' offices to counselors, special education, going to school, but nobody's really tying it all together holistically, as I am. And so somebody needs to do something. And so I've created something that is about as holistic as it gets. And the bottom line is, we can't afford any longer to allow an entire generation of youth to pretend like getting a high school diploma and making grades in the classroom is so important. And it is. However, last I checked, when I got a high school diploma, it didn't really amount to a whole heck of a lot. And so if we're raising our youth to put harmful chemicals and dangerous drugs that doctors say is okay into their bodies every day, from where I sit, that's a big deal, affecting this up here. It's a bit ironic, wouldn't you think, that you go sit down in a desk in a classroom for years and years, the teachers give you instruction, assignments, papers to write, knowledge to gain, information to assess and analyze. And yet, it's kind of an empty feeling, don't you think? When we make the grades and we do jobs that what I refer to as occupational obligations, the number one thing that gets in the way of our ability to live well and build health. And now we have a situation where you have occupation, academic learning, meals in the kitchen that we purchase at a grocery store, that we must plan ahead of time. And oh yeah, we need to fit some movement in our day, some what I like to call functional neuromuscular movements. And then we need to slow stress a bit. And that's where we go outside of food and fitness. And then there's what we need to cut out. And I show my clients and students one new change in form of a daily practice, one thing to cut out and one thing to add in to make change simple and doable. The cool thing is when you see that the simple doable part, it really can be impactful. It starts today, but it can last a lifetime. If you're one of the rare people who actually teach skills and not just throw the kitchen sink of information overload, otherwise known as Google, onto people's daily to-do plates. That daily plate seems quite heavy, don't you think? I prefer a lighter plate with ease nowadays. So if you have a struggling student, if you're a teacher in the classroom, loaded with duties, or a multitasking mom or dedicated dad, and you'd like a better way to get on their way to an A while making learning fun again and build health at the same time. You may not have ever heard that it's possible to address academic learning and build health together, addressing even serious disorders of the brain and what's called the nervous system, which in our grandparents' age, the older adults, we call that neurodegenerative. So, wouldn't it be good to address these things early on in the brain development of a young child? That way, they're armed with what they need to know and what they need to do on a consistent daily basis as just a normal way of life that fits seamlessly into the very fabric of their daily life. So as they grow through adolescence and adulthood, that they are armed with what they need for battle. Because the truth is, we are in battle every day. Your health is being attacked 24/7, it seems at times, from every angle. However, after 15 years of expertise in many areas of health, I'm able to see things that others don't see, and I've been able to remain well with ease for the past 15 years while learning how to manage and overcome some pretty severe pains, problems, and health situations. So I can relate to those of many of you. So if you'd like to get free from ADHD while making learning fun again and build health, shoot me an email at gabe@elevatedwellness.biz, B-I-Z as in zebra, or find me over on my Instagram page where I post a lot of my Gabe's Healing Kitchen medicinal meal, otherwise known as culinary creation food photos. Oh, and by the way, I'm sending out an email with some of my brain puzzles and games where you can easily view that I actually use with my students to correct autism and ADHD and other learning disabilities. I also completely customize an entire food menu to custom fit into their daily calendar around school schedules, crazy calendars, occupational obligations, and mandatory meetings for those who just don't think that it's possible to fit these things in. It's food, it's movement, it's emotionally enjoyable activities, creative arts, crucial conversations that we need to have that oftentimes we don't have flying through life, too busy. It's sleep quality, and it's learning new things and making it all fit. Have a blessed day. Get free from ADHD starting today.